saw me at this team camp, and he pulled me aside and into his office, and we decided that I was going to move in that next 2 weeks to San Diego by myself to go play club, to hopefully earn a scholarship to go play in college. And I'm really thankful for Dave, and he's one of the angels in my life, because I would not be standing here right now if it weren't for him. And so my entire career at Oregon and coming to U of A and seeing Dave was honestly always really special, and he was so kind to me. And so it was kind of a no-brainer, and I reached out to Steve because Steve was an assistant at the time during that camp. And so when I reached out to Steve and saying like, hey, want to play a fifth year, within 48 hours I had committed of reaching out to Steve and then that decision. So it was really easy for me, and so it was really cool to come full circle, and very, very blessed. And so U of A means a lot to me, and so it's fun to be here. And the first time that SUU has competed against Arizona. That's cool.
What do you, because obviously that was the beginning of the beach program, really. What do you remember about those early years?
I didn't realize we were pioneers. I remember that, well, first of all, beach and indoor are completely different sports, like not only on the tactical side, but the feel. Like indoor just feels like go, you put your head through the wall, and then beach, there's music playing. You're kind of just like more chill, and so I'm like, what is this? So what I remember is just like that was a very big change. The team was really fun, and although it was a short period of time, what I remember is just like it was really fun to compete, and that I was lucky to be here for my fifth year.
And then did you always know coaching would be kind of the next step for you?
Good question. No. At Oregon, I don't know if it's the same here. If you ask athletes, what are you studying and what do you want to do with your life? 95% of them say, I'm going to go play professionally. If that doesn't work out, I'm going to coach. And I'm that person that if everyone's going to the left, I'm going to the right. And so I didn't want to just do what was simple or easy, which is hilarious because obviously coaching is not easy or simple at all. But I had some close people that knew me really well, that when I came to a decision and I hit a fork in the road, December specifically of my fifth year, when I had no more eligibility after that year, told me that I would make a great coach. And from then on, I just stayed passionate. And I'm honestly a lot more passionate about coaching than I was even playing. And just seeing athletes understand skills, but more importantly, learn life lessons, and just how volleyball teaches a lot of us values. I think that that's the most rewarding part. And so I'm really thankful to be a coach. So that was another pivotal moment here at my time at Arizona was in December. My fifth year, I realized that coaching was the path. So.
And then I guess how did you feel about the way your team performed here this week?
Yeah. This week it was, okay, today is a different story than yesterday. As a whole, I think it's just two different teams that entered the floor. Something that we talk about a lot is our identity, and what we talked about going into the match today was what do we want to be known as for ourselves, for each other. And we talked about how can we build moving into conference from this match. And so the team has the skills and I think the mindsets in order to perform well consistently, but it's about just that, of like showing up and just understanding what it, like we're playing to win. We're not just hoping that the other team makes mistakes and it's in our control. And so I think that that's what we did today. I think that we played okay and we still were close. We did not do fantastic, yet if we do a couple more things different, 3-4 points, now it's 25-22 us. So I think that it's exciting and I'm looking forward to conference, but there's a big difference in yesterday compared to today.
Casey, best of luck. Great to see you back here in Tucson.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Casey Nady, the head volleyball coach at Southern Utah, the Thunderbirds, who came to town for the first time, as she mentioned, to play the Wildcats, and a place where she spent part of her collegiate athletic career. It's an incredible story. I'd like to maybe chat with her again to kind of get the long version, but to think that, we've heard, some great stories about Dave Rubio and just the effect that he's had over people's lives. One, the fact that he, was the one that suggested that she would be a great coach when that was not anything that even came into her mind. It's a very similar story to what we heard from the current Wildcats coach, Terita Stubbs, who was not even thinking about coaching until Dave said that he thought that she would be very good at it. And to think that you come to a camp and somebody says to you, yeah, you need to leave Yuma and go to San Diego because you have a chance to be really good at this. That's it's incredible to think that coaches can have that much of a forward thoughtness to them, that they see the type of talent that's in front of them, and maybe someone's coming from a place where they don't necessarily have all the resources, because obviously out in Yuma, there's probably not the kind of volleyball resources that you can get in a bigger city. But to be able to put that suggestion and put that into motion, to put that young lady on a path to, where she had an incredible 4-year Division I career, and now she's coaching in Division I volleyball.
Well, that's the point of coaching, is that you recognize the people that have the opportunity to maybe go to the next step in a athletic journey, whether that be Olympics or professional or whatever the case may be. And if they don't have that in them, but they clearly have a mind for the game, you can put them on another path and say, hey, I know it's going to be hard for you to go ahead and get to this part of the path, but there's another side of the path that you may not be considering. If you have someone there that's coaching you and coaching you well, they'll set you up on the right path in life, regardless of what that path might be. That's just the hallmark of good coaching, and having the ability to recognize talent in any and all athletes that you have under your umbrella.
It's very similar to what you're going to hear Avery Scoggins coming up here in, I want to be exact on my times. You'll hear from Avery Scoggins coming up at about 4:20 today, the freshman setter for the Arizona Volleyball team, who was named Rookie of the Week. She has a very similar story to how she became a setter, because she was a hitter, she said, growing up, and then she went to a camp, and a coach approached her and said, if you want to go far in this sport, you're probably going to need a set, because, coaches, again, this coach saw that, she's got talent. She's probably not going to have the size to be an outside hitter, or have the jumping ability or the leaping ability to be an outside hitter at the next level, but she's got so much intuitiveness about this game that she could become this position, and now she's got that path to be able to come and play at the next level. And so looking forward to hearing from Avery Scoggins on that coming up here in about 25 minutes. It's DK on the Sports Tip. I'm David Kelly. We got much more in store for you in the 4 o'clock hour. And right now, David Dragon Ball Amata has got everything you need to know about sports happening here in Southern Arizona and the world.
Wildcats Radio 1290. 2020 Sports.
Arizona football will be going against Utah with all eyes on the offense to see if they can return to that high-scoring self that they had in Week 1. Offensive coordinator Dino Baber says Noah Fifita is the guy who will lead them back to that old form.
Well, there's no doubt he's a leader, and he's one of our best players, and we need our best players to play well. And we have I think he has every intention of doing that. So he's one of our leaders. There's no doubt about it. As he go, we go. And as we start to solidify the offensive line, we anticipate being better and better.
And again, the running game has struggled at this point of the season, but that Arizona offensive line has only surrendered 3 sacks so far on the season. Arizona Cardinals' offensive line is also currently in a state of flux right now. They have injuries mounting in that group. They have actually gone out and brought in former Panther and Browns first-round pick Cameron Irving for a workout after his recent release from the Texans practice squad. And it was a doubleheader of Monday Night Football as the Bills handled the Jaguars in a blowout out in Buffalo, but it was the Commanders and the Bengals who put on a show for fans across the league. Washington's top pick, Jaden Daniels, showing why he won the Heisman and was taken second overall in this year's draft.
3rd down and 7. Shotgun snap to Daniels. Blitzes on. Throws an arching spiral pass into the end zone, and it was caught by McLaurin. Was he in the corner? Yes! Yes, he was! Touchdown! In the back corner of the end zone. 27-yard touchdown. Knee was down. Ball was caught. 2:10 to play. And if it stands, Washington would go up by 11.
And it did stand. Credit to Kevin Harlan on the Westwood One call there. Neither team punted or had a turnover in that contest, which was officially the first game of its kind in the Super Bowl era.
And, of course, BetQL told us to take the Bengals minus 7.5.
Hey, there you go.
These people don't know what they are talking about. How did we get aligned with them? They're losing at a 60% rate.
It's 60%, but that's your 2020 Sports Update. We'll have more for you here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collision Center reported Tucson Boulevard and Valencia, Benson Highway and Ajo Way, Ina and Thornydale, Valencia and 12th Avenue, also Broadway Boulevard and Euclid. Some slowing westbound Grant Road at Alvernon Way. An excessive heat warning, 10 a.m. Friday until 7 p.m. Saturday. Those highs around 107, 101 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
As coach of the Wildcats, I know the importance of teamwork. Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is the ultimate team when it comes to your home's comfort.
Is your AC system more than 10 years old and costing you too much in repairs? Beat the heat, call Right Way. Get a new system with 10-year parts warranty, 10-year labor warranty, and 60 months no-interest financing. Make replacing easier on your wallet. Call today.
Don't delay. Call or text 520-657-0699. If it's worth doing, do it the right way.
Marco!
Polo.
Marco!
Polo.
In a giant pool of business competitors, don't be the one left unseen and out of reach. If you're a business owner and need help with your online presence, let's make it happen. Introducing Cumulus Boost. Boost your website, boost your findability, boost your reputation, boost your business.
Marco?
Yes, I'm Marco.
Get a boost, get found, get on the map. Contact us today at cumulusboost.com.
1290 is the one place you can always count on for Arizona Wildcat sports.
Oh, man, praise the Lord. Thank you.
You will never miss the game if you have your radio locked on 1290.
Such a good feeling to be a Wildcat.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
Make the right choice for your home when it comes to windows and doors. For more than 20 years, the Window Depot has provided the best price and biggest inventory on in-stock windows and doors. The Window Depot is open to the public, so whether you're a homeowner or a contractor, you can shop the enormous warehouse. Browse the shelves with over 1,000 vinyl windows, interior and patio doors, and skylights in several varieties and sizes available to go home today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot. Best price, biggest inventory.
Post Move is the only after party for the Arizona basketball Red-Blue game, happening October 4th at Gentle Bands, benefiting Arizona men's basketball. Created and produced by Dust Music Festival, the all-ages event will be hosted by former U of A legend and three-time NBA All-Star Gilbert Arenas, with performances from DJ Z-Trip, Mixmaster Mike of BC Boys fame, and Trackstar the DJ, plus an Arizona memorabilia silent auction and much more. Get your tickets at ArizonaPostMove.com.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
This Saturday, your Arizona Wildcats face off against Utah. Kickoff's at 7:15, but the action starts early. Tune in at 2:30 for the local pregame show, followed by full network coverage at 5:30. Don't miss a minute of the action on Wildcats Radio 1290. Your home for in-depth conversation.
Nothing they do is by surprise. They telegraph what they want to do, and then they brag about it afterwards. It's a way to keep us at each other's throats.
The most pressing issues.
This was just a white on black crime, and you can already see the narrative starting to form in real time.
And fresh perspective.
The air marshals will not be on the airplanes because they're down at the border escorting illegal aliens to their Ubers.
America's most loved truth tellers live on Tucson's home for conservative talk. This is Freedom 1400. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. The one and only home of Arizona baseball. Pre- and post-game coverage, play-by-play, and live press conferences. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
Wait, what's the CNWT?
Central Northwest Tucson, duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
David Amata.
Hey, that's Dragon Ball to you.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Hour number 2 on this Tuesday. We are back up and running, streaming this show on a number of different platforms, video-wise. You can watch the show on YouTube. You can watch it on Facebook Live. You can also watch it on Twitch. So join us. You can also interact with the program on all of those platforms. If you got something you want to say about sports, 520-848-1290 is also the number to get in. You can call us. You can text us at that number. A lot of women's sports action we were talking about in hour number 1. And I mentioned at the top of the show that I wanted to kind of just get a little bit into the fact that we have started the second flag football season on the high school horizon here in southern Arizona. Last year we had just 2 teams, those teams being Marana High School and Mountain View High School in Marana. This year, though, we have added a number of other teams. Sunnyside, Palo Verde, Buena, Desert View, among the teams that are now playing flag football here in the state of Arizona, and particularly here in southern Arizona. And the interesting thing about, obviously, tackle football, you get it. It's like, football at every level. We only get it once a week. But flag football, you pretty much have games going on every night on the schedule, which is kind of interesting. There was, this is Tuesday? We have a number of games on the schedule tonight here in southern Arizona. We had a game last night, in fact, a rivalry game last night as Sunnyside knocked off Desert View in the first ever meeting of the district rivals in flag football. The Blue Devils take the crown by a score of 14-13. So shout out the Sunnyside Blue Devils for their win. Again, a number of games, as I mentioned, being played tonight across the state, 3 involving teams in southern Arizona. I mentioned Mountain View and Marana, the 2 originals. They are in action tonight over at Marana High School. So the ladies' battle of the boot. After the boys had their battle of the boot on Friday night, a game that was won by Marana they pretty much handled Mountain View handily. I think that was the word I was looking for. So congratulations out to the Marana Tigers boys football team for their big win over the weekend. They've got, we were at CDO on Friday night, and CDO plays Marana this Friday night. So we've had some really, really marquee games. Marana's had to play. So Marana played the 5A champs 2 weeks ago when they played Higley and won. Now they get the 4A champs from CDO. Philip Stewart's not messing around with his schedule up there.
It's been a long time coming for some Marana alumni to see this football team get really good really quickly. I'm looking forward to this. I was really looking forward to them beating Mountain View, and when they did, I'm like, okay, now the sights are set on CDO. That's going to be a very, very fun game.
And we've got one of the members of our team in the seat over there. We mentioned him last week. His name is Jose Guevara. So our system went down. So, Jose, we don't have your camera, so the people can't see your handsome face over there. But Jose does a lot of coverage as well of high school football throughout Pinal and Pima counties. Your thoughts on the scene through the first 5 weeks of the season?
Seeing Marana kind of take it to 3 big teams. I had the South Point and Higley games as losses for them. Seeing them take those victories was amazing. And then, of course, gaining the boot back after being upsetted last year. I think one of the teams to kind of keep your eye on will be Micah Mountain, especially this week against Casa Grande.
Yeah, Micah Mountain. I believe both of those teams are 4-0 heading into Friday night. So Micah Mountain, probably most people believe this year might have the upper hand and being in terms of Conference 4A over CDO. And that was a tremendous rivalry we saw from those two teams last year. CDO winning both of those games. And so Micah Mountain is going to be for sure the team to beat this season, as they look like they've built that program pretty quick, kind of in the fashion of some of the schools like Eastmark up in the Phoenix area that we've seen. Castile comes to mind, teams that were built to win, newer schools that were built to win at a high level really fast, and that's happening for sure with Micah Mountain. Did you have a game last week, Jose?
Actually, we took the week off.
Okay.
One of our games got forfeited, so this weekend or Friday we'll be in Casa Grande seeing the Micah Mountain versus Casa Grande game.
That wasn't the Coolidge game, was it?
Yeah, it actually was the Coolidge game.
I saw that Coolidge had to forfeit their game last week. That's a program that's in some tough straits right now. They've struggled. We saw them the first week over at Sabino, and they got beat pretty handily that night. And unfortunately, as you mentioned, had to forfeit a game last week. You never like to see those types of situations, but a lot of schools still going through it in terms of numbers and that type of thing. And Coolidge appears to be one of those teams that is going through that. What other teams, Jose, are you seeing out there that maybe surprises? Any dark horses that maybe are surprising you so far?
I'll have to go out to the Queen Creek, Santan Valley area. ALA Ironwood, undefeated right now. Their running back was, after 2 weeks, leading I think he was ranked 4th in the nation in rushing. So he went down with an injury, just to see them rebound with another running back, second-string running back, and they're still undefeated, so pretty impressive.
There you go. American Leadership Academy Ironwood is in the mix as well. All right, Jose is you can't see him because his camera's not working currently, but you can hear his voice. He's a new member of our team that joined us. He does a lot of high school football coverage. He's also going to be so where have you gotten your baseball assignment? You're going to be traveling for the Major League Baseball playoffs as a part of the Fox broadcast teams as a support crew member. Do you know where you're going yet?
We're going to be doing the NLDS, excuse me. So we're just awaiting to see which assignment we're going to be with.
I was waiting to find out if you were going to be doing an ALDS, maybe involving my Cleveland Guardians, because then you were going to have to get me tickets.
Well, you'd have to
Not
wait.
that I can go to any of the games.
I was going to say, you have to wait around first before you get to see those games, because they got that bye week if everything stands as it is.
That's fine. We don't want to be having to play in that wild card anymore.
You got to hope that your go-to pitcher there finally starts to pitch some duds out there for the Houston Astros, because that's the only team that's got a shot to potentially take you out of a bye.
Yeah.
From what I heard, I thought you were boycotting the Fox network.
Well, see. Wow. Okay, Jose, you remember that.
He got you there.
You remember
he
that.
Got you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I had to give up Fox after they pulled apart the Pac-12. But again, I think I did watch one game. I think it was the USC game on that station last week. It might have been.
Don't worry,
no, it was on
DK.
CBS. It was
Utah
on CBS,
State.
so I think I'm good.
Utah State will save the conference. Don't worry.
Oh, wow. Okay. Utah State, the Aggies. All right, there you go. All right, let's see if Cricket's camera is working. Hey, there we go. We got somebody's camera that's working today. You know, the system went down, as it seems to do sometimes. Welcome in, Cricket.
Hello there. Hello, family.
How are you doing today?
Very
have
good.
Have you met Jose? Have you met?
Yes.
We're just introducing you to all the new family members here.
Yes.
You have met Jose.
We've met through the glass.
Through the glass
on the air.
What is this? Are we like in prison now? You got to communicate through the glass here. You know,
that's the fishbowl.
Have you ever had to go do that? Have you ever had David? Have you ever had to go talk to anybody through the glass?
I'm happy to say I've never had to meet or see anyone that I was associated with through a plane of glass at a local penitentiary.
Crickets, you ever have to go talk to anybody through the glass?
Yes.
Yeah, have you really?
Yes.
Oh, really? What's that? What was that experience like? If you would like to share.
Well, it was probably a mistake. Like, I was trying to be a nice person. Like, my high school crush got in trouble.
Oh, boy.
And then when I realized, and he didn't tell me what he did, when I found out what he did, I was like, I don't think I should be talking to that person.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you were in high school?
No, well, it was after high school.
After
But
high
like
school.
and I was maybe like 19 or 20 or whatever. But he was like an armed robber, robbed a sandwich shop at gunpoint.
Oh, boy.
Hey, sometimes the banana peppers need to be in the Subway sandwich, all right? Sometimes sometimes you need to go back and get the banana bell peppers.
He was upset.
So do you know, do you know where he is now? Or
I think he got out and found Jesus.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
had some
That's
kids.
always a good thing.
Yeah.
Find Jesus. There you go.
Yeah.
So I went out running last night. I like to get out into the park and sometimes, but so we're starting to get to that time of the year where there's a lot of sinus stuff happening as the temperatures start to go down, and I didn't take my Claritin pill before I went running, and so I've been like sneezing and coughing all day long. Yeah. So
how were the bugs? Were the bugs getting you at all?
No, actually, well, I put bug repellent on before I go out in the evenings anyway. So yeah, no, I was pretty good. It's been a good, it's been, your grandma hooked me up with that one cream and that worked really well. And then I left it in the rental car in Philadelphia. So I had to go out and get some other cream that was not quite as good as that one, but it still worked. Yeah. I've not had, it's been a really good mosquito summer for me. So I'm happy about that. Do you get eaten up a lot, Cricket? Do mosquitoes get you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you utilize the repellent or no?
No, I hate the way that feels. I hate the way sunscreen feels too.
Oh, I think you said that once before.
Like the sticky, it's
yeah.
Especially when it mixes with sweat, then it just feels like you've completely defeated the purpose.
It's just ooh.
Do you have allergies?
Yes.
Do you?
I do.
Do you take anything?
Maybe Benadryl. It has to be pretty miserable for me to take like Benadryl because it makes you feel so bad. Like it makes you.
It knocks you out.
Does Claritin make you dopey?
It does. No, actually, it didn't.
Oh, okay.
I think I took my pill and I stayed up another 2 hours.
That just releases the sinuses. I feel like Benadryl's the one that like it knocks you out to let everything kind of drain. Is the issue.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't.
Claritin opens you up, and Benadryl's supposed to like help with the drainage afterwards.
Knocks you out.
Like yeah, I've never. I don't know that I've taken much Benadryl in my life then. So, but so your word of the day is make sure if you're going to be outdoors doing any type of exercising, please make sure you take your antihistamine or whatever it is that helps you with your allergies.
Keep yourself cool with a fan.
There you
that thing.
Oh wow,
cool.
What is that?
Oh, you haven't seen that yet?
No.
Got
Wait. Let me put you on full camera here so people can see your little toy.
Got this little puppy at a Home Depot for $5. It is a mister with a fan with about 12-hour battery charge. You can get this for $5 at a Home Depot.
Wow. All right.
That's cool.
Arctic Air, it's called.
Arctic Air.
There we go. See, we're selling people stuff that aren't even paying us to sell it now.
Why not, right?
There you go. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
And from the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions reported Country Club north of Speedway Boulevard, La Cañada and McGee. Stella and Wilmont, some southbound backup southbound. Wilmont approaching and passing Stella. To the foothills, Swan and Sunrise Drive is clearing. An excessive heat warning 10 a.m. Friday until 7 p.m. Saturday. Highs those days around 107 and 101 now. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com. Play social games online for free. Head to ChumbaCasino.com now to join the Chumba fun and experience the thrill of the Chumba life. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void or prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Why are we named Wildcats Radio 1290?
You want answers?
Because we outwork everyone else in town to bring you the very best coverage of the Cats. That's why we are the home of the Arizona Wildcats. The one and only Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Whether you're new to Arizona or you've been driving here for decades, we all share the same roads and the same extreme driving conditions like extreme Arizona heat, extremely large potholes, some extremely flooded roads, and there's always extremely distracted drivers, pedestrians, and that guy who drives a scooter backwards into oncoming traffic. You're driving in the world's largest video game, stopping, starting, turning, heating up, and cooling down. And that's just your afternoon commute. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care's 14 award-winning locations have been helping drivers just like you get home safely for over 60 years. With top-quality tire brands, no hidden extras, and one low price. Jack Furrier has everything you need to stay in the game, like wheel alignments, batteries, brakes, air conditioning, service at prices that won't break the bank. Ask a neighbor or friend about Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care's friendly service, or stop by, make an appointment online, or call ahead to the local's choice. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
Is he okay?
Ron, did you get hit on the head?
What? Oh, no. I was just reminiscing.
Here comes a story.
I was 5 or 6. A scruffy little ragamuffin, I was.
A scruffy? What are you, Charles Dickens?
Mama just wanted to comfort me.
Mama?
Comfort. It's why we started Alaskan AC, you know?
We know.
I was being a fuss budget. Golly, I was a scoundrel.
Get to the point.
These were the early days at Alaskan AC, see?
See.
It's a fun place to work at Alaskan AC.
Ron.
We don't take ourselves too seriously.
We literally just came up with the new Alaskan AC jingle last month.
What? Who's that? Who's there? Is it you, Mama?
Oh, boy.
Yes, Ronnie, it's Mama.
Did your little Ron Bon make you proud?
Every day, dear.
Why did I even come to work today?
Because...
it's a fun place to work at Alaskan AC. We don't take ourselves too seriously.
AlaskanAC.com.
Hey, Wildcat fans, Arizona football is here. Catch head coach Brent Brennan as the Wildcats enter their inaugural season of the Big 12 Conference. We need you to be part of the action, filling the stands and cheering on Arizona. Secure your seats for all 7 home games with season tickets, or pick the plan that is best for you by calling the ticket office at 520-621-2287 or visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. Lock in your tickets today. We'll see you at Arizona Stadium. Bear down. Go Cats.
Online, on your phone with the Freedom 1400 app, on your smart speaker, or on the air. No matter how you listen, stay on the right side of the conversation all day long with Freedom 1400 AM. Start your morning with Brian Kilmeade from 6 to 9 a.m., followed by Dan Bongino keeping it fiery until noon. Then Chris Plant takes over from noon to 3, and you can drive home with Jimmy Fallon from 3 to 6 p.m. Conservative talk for Tucson is Freedom 1400 AM.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
Don't miss a minute of the best Arizona Wildcats coverage in town. Tell Alexa, play Wildcats Radio 1290. This is your home of Arizona football, men's basketball, and baseball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hi, I'm Mike Yam with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Week 3 wrapped up with a Monday night doubleheader. In the early window, Josh Allen tossed 4 first-half touchdowns, and the Bills remain undefeated after they blew past the Jags 47-10. In the second game, Jaden Daniels and the Commanders, they upset the Bengals in Cincinnati 38-33, sending the Bengals to an 0-3 record for the first time in Joe Burrow's career. In Los Angeles, Chargers rookie right tackle Joe Alt suffered an MCL sprain on Sunday and is expected to miss some time, while Pro Bowl left tackle Rashawn Slater also likely to be out against the Chiefs because of a strained pectoral muscle. Over in the NFC, Sam Laporta is day-to-day after suffering an ankle injury in Sunday's win over the Cardinals. In Minnesota, Tom Pelissero is reporting that Sam Darnold is not expected to miss any time after an MRI revealed a knee bruise. No structural damage for the quarterback. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Wendy's breakfast burrito has an entire breakfast in every bite. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, and sausage or bacon. So the first bite is like fresh cracked American cheese sauce, bacon. And the second bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. Bacon. And the third bite, you get the idea. The boss of breakfast burritos, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Arizona Volleyball is on the road this week, and they've got a tall order to start Big 12 conference play. They're heading out to take on a couple of ranked teams in TCU and Baylor. It'll start with the match in Baylor tomorrow night. Today, however, freshman setter Avery Scoggins was named the Big 12 Rookie of the Week for her performance over the weekend. 75 assists, led the league with a 12.5 assists per set mark. That was fourth nationally during the week as the Wildcats swept the Wildcat Classic with wins over North Dakota State and Southern Utah. The ladies are 11-0 to start the season, sweeping through their non-conference schedule. Scoggins is the second Wildcat freshman to win Rookie of the Week this season, joining Carly Cisneros, who earned the honor in Week 1 back on September the 3rd, 3 weeks ago. That is the first time that's ever happened in program history that two Arizona Wildcat freshmen both won Rookie of the Week, or Freshman of the Week, as we used to call it in the Pac-12, in the same season. We had a chance to chat with Avery Scoggins on Monday over at McHale Center to get her thoughts on winning the job over Anna Heath. They were battling it out all through the fall camp and into the non-conference schedule, but the freshman from down south in North Carolina, Avery Scoggins, has emerged as the starting setter.
The three of you freshmen who have played a lot, what's it been like for you personally and for your group?
So for us, we're extremely grateful. We love playing. We love playing volleyball. We love playing with this group of girls, and we just like that we can make an immediate impact and really just help the team towards our goal, and we're just willing to provide whatever we need to do to make sure we're making progress in the future. And it really means a lot to me. I love playing volleyball, and I love playing with this group of girls, so I'm going to try and do as much as I can to help everybody else.
Carly was saying that you guys played against each other a lot in club. What are your memories of going up against her?
So last year, Carly graduated early, so she didn't play club, and I don't think we played Brenna. But I remember playing Brenna my 16th year in Baltimore, and then I also played Carly my 16th year in Baltimore, and I lost both times to them, but I'm not sure if they remember those specific memories, but it was fun playing them. But at the time, I had no idea that they were going to be my teammates, so it was like kind of just like, oh, remember when moment. It wasn't really like you're competing against your teammate moment, so it wasn't as personal, but yeah.
What did you think coming in that you were going to have to do to potentially win the job as the setter?
Coming in, I was just willing to go in, get extra reps, work as hard as I possibly could, get extra with the side girls, have a personal connection with all the girls on the team, making sure that they trust me. I was doing everything. I was watching film. I still watch film all the time, and I'm still getting extra reps. Like, none of that stops, and I'm just trying to constantly learn and teach and do what they're telling me to do, and just like grow as a player constantly. That way I don't hit my peak and just continue progressing.
When did setter become your position and why?
So after my 14s year, it became my position because I went to a clinic in Raleigh for one of my future clubs, and they told me that if I wanted to be on the top court, I would have to be setting and not hitting, so that's when I switched to a setter.
What did you like about the position once you started learning it?
I like setting because I get to make the decisions, and I also like it too because I can touch every ball in the rally. So it's like I'm not waiting for the ball to come to me. Like, I get to go get it and decide what to do with it, and really just like help our team in the best way and put everybody in like their best position to score. And I really like that because then it's like I get to decide like who gets what when.
Do you think it's like that for a lot of girls where they don't maybe necessarily depend to be or want to become a setter, but somewhere along the process somebody tells them this is the best route?
I do. I really do, because I think like nowadays all the hitters, unless you have like a 10-6 vertical or 10 touch, 10 foot, then it's like you should probably do something else if you want to go far, I think. But that's not saying that you can't go far with what you have. It's just like there's a better possibility, if that makes sense.
Anything else for Avery?
So when you started doing it, what were the initial things that you had to kind of figure out about the position in order to be able to, excel at it?
So when I first started setting everything, because the tempo that we run here is much faster than what I did when we first started. And so when I first started, I was learning like how to communicate with my teammates and really making sure that like not only the setting aspect was there, but the leadership aspect, and making sure like I'm a good communicator on the court and keep everything calm when I can. And I think like I was taught, and I was trying to get more consistent, like 4-2-9, which is the outside ball, the middle ball, and then the right side ball. So after I got better at that, then you start progressing to like the faster balls, like the one with the middle or like a slide, and you're doing all these new things and you're learning all these new plays, which is super fun, but then you learn to be consistent at them, which really helps you progress.
Where do you want to take the next step in your blocking?
So I'm actually getting extra blocking reps today. I want to be a way better blocker, and I really want to make sure I don't get tooled as much as I got tooled down the line. That's a really big focus for me, is really getting in that right spot. I know sometimes I'm not going to always get like the biggest stuff blocks, but I know that I can get some positive work up there done at the net, and I just have to get to a point where I'm feeling confident and I'm able to do that.
You had said after Saturday that you were a little slow to react sometimes on the block. How do you become quicker there?
I think I just need to focus more and then really be like sure with my movements and make sure like I'm constantly like, okay, fast arms, like every single time, just saying it to myself. And I think that will help me too, because then I'm like constantly reminded. And then I also think I just need to keep going and repeat, so I get more consistent, and then it starts to become muscle memory.
Last year, Rita talked a lot about how you can do everything perfectly and never block a ball. So does she talk about that to you, about, technique over result kind of thing?
Yes, like she tells me that the defense is designed for the block, and not all the good hitters are going to try to not hit the block. They're going to try and funnel around it, or they're going to try and test it. So even if you do something perfectly and you're there and they just hit around me, there's really nothing I can do, and I just have to accept that. And that's what the defense is for, to be right behind us, knowing that they'll dig the ball up if we're in the right spot. So that's all my focus is. Thanks, guys.
All right, that is Avery Scoggins, the freshman setter for the Arizona women's volleyball team. You heard her mention the term tool there. In case you're not familiar with volleyball, that is a term that is used when the hitter will hit the ball against the block to the outside person on the block closest to the sideline in hopes of getting the touch and then the ball going out of bounds for a point. So that was one of the things that Avery was saying she needs to work on when she's in that position, that she does not get tooled by the offense. Got to know that lingo of volleyball. This is, again, the opening week of Pac-12 play in volleyball. There are 15 teams that play volleyball in this conference. And right now, the Wildcats are the only team that is undefeated in the non-conference. The Wildcats went 11-0. Arizona State went 11-1. Utah is 10-1. Kansas is 9-1. Pretty much every team is above 500 overall, except for Houston. The Cougars are 5-5, and Kansas State is 2-7. And so this will be an immediate test for the Arizona Wildcats as they go and they play at a pair of ranked opponents this week. Number 19, Baylor, tomorrow night. That is a game that will start at 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. So that game will be active during our show on ESPN+. And then Friday night, they'll play at Baylor. And Friday night, they'll play at TCU. And TCU is ranked number 22 in the country. In terms of the rankings right now, you've got Kansas, the Jayhawks, at number 9. They are currently the highest-ranked team in the Big 12. And then it goes BYU at 17, followed by Baylor at 19. Arizona State, I should say, I forgot about them. Arizona State is 14, so they come in between Kansas and BYU. And then TCU is ranked 22nd overall. So those are your ranked teams on the volleyball side in the Big 12 as we go into the first weekend of conference play. And again, it appears just the way that this is set up, that they are still using or they have moved to a travel partner type scenario that we were very similar to in the Pac-12. When you look at the fact that Utah and BYU will be at home this weekend, and they will take on Texas Tech will travel to Utah. That game will be on Thursday, and then Utah will host Colorado. So, again, an uneven amount of teams in the Big 12 on the volleyball side, and so they may have a little bit different makeup of the travel partners as it relates to some of the teams like Colorado, and obviously Colorado and Utah were travel partners in the Pac-12, but they will not be that in the Big 12 because you have the two teams in Utah and BYU that are just, a couple of less than 100 miles apart. They will travel together in most instances. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We're going to have much more coming up. We'll hear from the quarterback of your Arizona Wildcats at approximately 5:20 today, Noah Fifita. You'll hear what he has to say as the Wildcat football team gets ready for their Big 12 opener on the road at Utah this Saturday night. Kickoff scheduled for 7:15. Our coverage begins on Saturday at 2:30 from Corbett's on 4th. We'll have the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show, so stop on by. We'll be at Corbett's, myself, Glenn Howell, Kelvin Ifan, from 2:30 to 5:30 on Saturday for the show, getting you set for the Wildcats and the Utah Utes. Cricket right now is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions at a reported Country Club near Speedway on Country Club to the north of Speedway Boulevard. Swan and Sunrise Drive-In, Swan Road. Wilmot and Stella with southbound backups, and also collision at La Cañada and McGee. For your weather and excessive heat warning, 10 a.m. Friday through 7 p.m. Saturday, highs near 107, and it is 100 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer.
I got my together.
I got my together.
You can get your shots together too. Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Tune in to DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290 Thursday afternoons to compete in the Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge, where you can win money by placing a bet on the right team this football season. More info at wildcatsradio1290.com.
Quick, she's over here. I don't know. I just found her like this.
Yeah, she's banged up, but she'll be fine.
Oh, thank God. What can I do?
Just need the keys. And, sir?
Yeah?
Your car's gonna be fine.
Thank you.
Mobile detailing from Recon Auto Detailing. Tired of wear and tear on your vehicle or just tired of cleaning it yourself? We'll come to you. Book with us online and see why we have over 1,100 5-star reviews. Recon Auto Detailing. ReconDetail.com.
There are many reasons you might need Dorado Rockin' Materials. A few bare spots in the yard. The driveway needs filling in. Or it could be that the yard needs a whole makeover. Whatever the reason, if your yard has the summertime blues, Dorado Rockin' Materials has everything from sand to boulders and every rock and pebble in between. If you need help spreading it, we have options for that too. Call 400-4233. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Hey,
Hey, it's Rich Eisen here. Join me and my compadre, Chris Brockman, every Monday on the Overreaction Monday podcast.
A 2023 last place team will win a playoff game this year.
I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals to be that team. If you gave me two,
safe bet.
If you said two last place teams, I might say that's an overreaction. Come react or overreact with us. This one makes it much easier.
Right.
So thank you for making it easier.
Well, tune in next week.
Overreaction Monday, wherever you listen.
Ryan Radke here from Sunday Night Football on Westwood One. This week it's an AFC primetime matchup from Baltimore when the Ravens host Josh Allen and the Bills. Buffalo is off to a 3-0 start, but Lamar Jackson and Baltimore are coming off a big win at the Cowboys and looking to prove they're better than their 1-2 record. Join Mike Golick and me for all the action. Bills at the Ravens on Sunday Night Football.
Coverage begins at 4:30 on your home for the NFL, Wildcats Radio 1290.
For 100 years, O'Reilly Chevrolet has been part of the fabric of Tucson, just as our Chevy trucks are part of the fabric of America. With that in mind, we're proud to announce it's officially truck season. And this year we have Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, the all-new Chevy Colorado. Test drive your new Chevy truck on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or check out our entire lineup at O'Reilly.com. Don't miss truck season, going on now at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
This is Zach Gelb with the Sports Minute, sponsored by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Please gamble responsibly. The Washington Commanders have been down and out for a long time, but now their fans have hope with Daniel Snyder no longer in charge and a ton of excitement around Jaden Daniels. C.J. Stroud last year showed you could quickly go from the NFL's outhouse to the penthouse, and the performance we saw from Daniels against the Bengals will only intensify that optimism that Commanders fans haven't had in a long time. I'm Zach Gelb.
Hey, football fans, looking to get in on the action every day of the week this season? Just check out BetMGM Ultimate Teams. It's free to play. Visit your promotions page each weekday, and you'll receive an Ultimate Teams card with a pro football team and spread. If the team on your card covers the spread that Sunday, you'll score a prize. Rewards include Parlay Boost tokens, Odds Boost tokens, SGP Parlay Boost tokens, No Sweat tokens, and bonus bets. If all 5 of the teams on your cards cover their spreads for the week, you'll have a shot to score our grand prize of up to $1,000. Log into your BetMGM account to get started, then visit your promotions page and click on BetMGM Ultimate Teams to get your cards. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. Arizona only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary by market and expire within 24 hours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right. Also in the 5 o'clock hour, I am going to announce to you, because it's Tuesday, which means it's almost Friday night, I will announce to you where we are going to be this Friday night for high school football. We are somewhere every Friday that the Wildcats do not have a home football game, and that is this Friday, as it was last Friday. We were at Canyon Del Oro High School for the game against Amphi. We have been at Empire this year. I believe they won the night we were there. I think all the home teams have won the nights that we've gone out there. Empire knocked off, who did they play that night? I think they played Sierra Linda from Phoenix. We went out to Sabino, and we were just talking about Coolidge. They knocked off Coolidge the night that we went out there. And we were at Canyon Del Oro this past weekend, and Canyon Del Oro knocked off Amphi. So that is extremely good news for the school we are about to announce here in the 5 o'clock hour, where we are going to be this Friday night. Can't wait. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. Now, I mentioned in that last segment, if you were following along very closely, I said there are 15 teams that play volleyball in the Big 12 Conference. That means that there is one team that does not play volleyball. We'll talk about that, and I'll tell you who that team is here coming up very shortly. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. Let's talk to Coach Lou Vega. You're on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hello, am I on the air?
You are on the air, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing well, and you, sir?
Good, great.
Well, I just wanted to kind of maybe just take 2 minutes. I'm on my way to Amphi High School right now. It's the battle of the Rito River between the Amphi Middle School Pirates versus the Lacima. I'm trying to remember their mascot, but it's a high school setting, but it's between Lacima and the Amphi Middle School. Coach Isaac is the head coach, and then Coach Mario is the coach for Lacima. So just wanted to give a shout out to the teams here, and Coach Isaac and the rest of the coaches here for Amphi Middle are going to, coach them really well so we can march on to victory. And then Lacima is coached by Coach Mario and his staff, and it's going to be an awesome game. So if you can make it out to Amphi High School tonight at 6 p.m., that would be great.
Now, and this is what sport, Coach? This is football?
This is football.
All right. So middle school football, Lacima versus Amphi.
Amphi Middle, that's right, sir.
Awesome. And do you coach one of the teams, Coach Vega?
I am a volunteer parent at Amphi Middle, and my employer, Pima Community College, allows me to be a volunteer coach.
Awesome. So how's Amphi Middle School doing this year so far?
Right now, we are 1-2. We have 2 more games. Actually, the big game right now, and then we end the season on Monday of next week.
What are your kids loving most about learning the game of football?
They just love playing the sport. They love being with their teammates, their coaches. It's about family, building that trust in the community. And it's just they want to go on to the next level at the high school, and then they want to go on to the universities. And I would love for them to have the opportunity 4 or 5 years from now that Pima Community College brings back their football program. That would be a great opportunity for them so that they can continue on after high school and then go on to a Division I school and so forth.
That is awesome, man. What grades is the Amphi Middle School again? Is that 6th, 7th, and 8th, or what grades?
6th, 7th, and 8th, but they start at 7th grade playing football.
I see. And it's the Amphi Middle School Pirates and the Lacima Middle School Cardinals playing tonight.
Correct.
And that's at what time? Tell folks again what time?
6 p.m. at Amphi High School.
Okay, 6. So they're playing on Friedley Field tonight. I'm sure that's going to be a thrill for those youngsters.
Well, that's going to be amazing. I mean, that's an opportunity. The Battle of the Rito River, that's what it's called every year.
The Battle of the Rito River. I love it. I love it. Coach Vega, we appreciate you calling and letting us know about that big event tonight. If folks want to get out there to the high school over at Amphi for the battle between the Pirates and the Cardinals, it begins at 6 p.m. Keep coaching them up, Coach Vega.
Thank you. And bear down.
Bear down indeed. Appreciate your call today. 520-848-1290 if you want to get in on the program. See, we've got all kinds of great events happening here tonight in Tucson. We like to call it that. Tonight, what's happening tonight in Tucson? Well, there you go. The Battle of the Rito River between Lacima and Amphi Middle Schools in the Amphi District. And hopefully that's some good football over there tonight, beginning at 6 o'clock. All right, I was mentioning that there are 15 teams that play volleyball in the Big 12, which may sound a little weird because there are 16 schools in the Big 12. All right, who's in the hot seat over there right now? Robert, I am going to put you on the spot. How are you, Robert?
Okay, what you got?
All right. Do you know what school in the Big 12 does not play volleyball on the women's level?
Kansas State.
Kansas State would be incorrect. If you were listening, I did mention Kansas State in the last segment when I was talking volleyball. I'll give you get that's strike one. You get 3 strikes, just like baseball. You get 2 more guesses there, Robert.
Oh, boy. I'm not really having
Kansas State is that they're in last place right now, so that who knows if they keep playing poorly, they might not have a program much longer. the way things are going in college athletics right now.
That's why I picked them.
All right, you get 2 more guesses.
BYU.
BYU is incorrect. We mentioned BYU in the last segment as well. So you got one strike left, Robert. Step out of the box, redo your batting gloves, and get ready for another pitch here coming. You got one more opportunity.
I'm at a loss, total loss. Sorry.
Okay. Jose, you want to take a guess? You got one more strike. Guys, got one more strike. You said BYU and Kansas State. What team does not play volleyball in the Big 12? Just take a wild guess. Take one guess. Wild guess there, Audio Bob.
North Carolina.
North Carolina is in the ACC, so that would be incorrect.
See, I told you.
The answer, to my surprise, is Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State does not play volleyball, and as if I'm correct on this, and I could be wrong, they are the only now Power 4. I still want to call it Power 5. They are the only Power 4 conference team that does not field a women's volleyball team. That is pretty much an expected team at most Power 5 conferences. Now, for a long time, they were one of two teams in Power 5 that did not play volleyball, alongside Vanderbilt in the SEC. But Vanderbilt added volleyball, I believe, 2 years ago. In 2022, actually, I'm sorry, they added the program, but they haven't started playing it. Actually, they won't play volleyball at Vanderbilt until next season. They are still in the process of building that program. So it was added in April of 2022, so 2 years ago, but they will not start playing volleyball at Vanderbilt until 2025. So there are currently still two Power 5 programs that don't play women's volleyball. Vanderbilt and Oklahoma State in the Big 12. That's pretty interesting information there. I would have thought everybody played volleyball at this point, but it'll be interesting. I'd like to once we get into we don't play Oklahoma State in football this year, but I imagine we'll probably play them in basketball. We'll have to maybe have that conversation with some media folks down at in Stillwater once we get to an opportunity where we play Oklahoma State coming up. But yeah, Oklahoma State Cowgirls do not play women's volleyball. So only 15 teams in the Big 12 as we embark on the beginning of play there tomorrow for Arizona down in Texas against Baylor. 520-848-1290. Let's update you on what's happening with your Arizona Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks download.
Baseball stuff! Baseball stuff!
All right, opening up the homestand against the San Francisco Giants, and this game got away from the Diamondbacks quickly.
1-2. Chapman, it's a high drive. Left center field. McCarthy tracking. He'll jump, and he can't catch it. It's off the wall. And it's going to start caroming back towards center field. Chapman coming to third. Williams is sending him. Here comes a throw. He slides in safely. Matt Chapman with an inside the park home run.
Giants would go on to win the ball game by a score of 6-3. That was an inside the park 2-run home run. He hit it literally to that point in center field where the wall kind of splits at Chase Field, and Jake McCarthy could not get it, and it literally caromed all the way away. I mean, Pavin Smith had to probably run about 40 yards into right center field to chase it down. I don't know where the right fielder was on that play because Pavin Smith came all the way from left field to grab the ball. Who was in right field last night for the Diamondbacks? Corbin Carroll? I'm not sure where Corbin Carroll was on that play. 6-3 was the final again for the Diamondbacks as they lose. Eduardo Rodriguez pitched in the ball game, allowed 5 runs on 7 hits in 4 2/3 innings. D-backs really only had one shot. That was in the 5th when they got a couple men on via walk.
From Birdsong here. 2-2. A look to second. Here's the pitch. Peterson takes strike 3 call. And he knew it. Change up, got him. 5-2 Giants with 2 on and 2 out here in the 5th. The pitch is lined toward the middle, and a leaping catch by Casey Schmidt, who is shaded that way, and he robs Walker of a hit and saves at least a run.
Hayden Burnsong got out of that jam. That was the end of his night. 95 pitches in 5 innings. He did strike out 6, though. The Giants' bullpen allowed just a run on 3 hits over the final 4 to hold on for the 6-3 victory. Torey Lovello after the ballgame.
I think today, we got beat. The pitcher was making quality pitches. We weren't able to generate any real offense that we normally have. It wasn't a great outcome. We all saw it. We were watching it, and it was as frustrating as you could probably imagine. But they're professional athletes. They know what they need to do today and tomorrow.
And the skipper on Jake McCarthy trying to catch that ball hit by Matt Chapman that resulted in the inside the park home run.
I thought it was a great effort. The ball just carried him and took a long roll, and Corbin got there as fast as he could. So I haven't seen how the entire dynamic of the play, but I have no problem with Jake going after the ball the way he did.
So here's where we stand right now as we head into Game 2 of this series tonight, coming up at 6:40 tonight. The Braves are just a game and a half behind the Diamondbacks for the final wild card spot in the National League. Arizona has dropped into the 3rd spot, half game behind the Mets, 3 and a half games behind the Padres. And Torey Lovello was asked, are you worried now about the Braves?
Yeah, I'm not worried about anything other than tomorrow. That's how I'm going to look at it. We got it. We got to slice it up as thinly as we can. That's been the way we've looked at this entire season. We just take one game at a time, come out tomorrow and play our best game.
All right, Diamondbacks again have a game and a half lead over the Braves with 5 to play. One of those 5 is tonight. 6:40 first pitch. Logan Webb for the Giants. He was on my fantasy team this year. 12-10 with a 3.58 ERA. Brandon Pfaadt gets the ball for the Snakes. 10-9, a 4.66 ERA. Right now, the Diamondbacks are the favorite on the money line at -160. Your over-under tonight is 8.5 for that game at Chase Field. It's starting to get a little bit nervous if you're a Diamondbacks fan. I think the magic number is 2, so they could actually wrap up a spot tonight with a win and a loss by the Braves. DK on the sports tip. We are going to talk some soccer as well coming up in the next hour. You'll hear from Noah Fifita at about 5:20. Right now, David Amata has everything you need to know in sports here in Southern Arizona and the world.
Wildcats Radio 1290. 2020 Sports.
Here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Looking elsewhere around campus, Arizona Volleyball players are starting to go and get some recognition by the new conference, including Avery Scoggins. She was named Rookie of the Week by the Big 12 after recording 75 assists at the Wildcat Classic alone, as she helped to go ahead and put the team at 11-0 on the year. After the first day at the Tyndall tournament, the Arizona men's golf team settles into 4th place. Tiger Christensen and Zach Polo are both in the top 10 going into day 2's tee time. And the Diamondbacks now sit just a game and a half over the Braves in the wild card race in the National League after the Giants managed to find some of their offense thanks to some lucky bounces out in the outfield.
Into left center field. McCarthy on the move. And it's off the wall. And it kicks way away from everybody. Chapman is on the move. And they're going to wave him in. And the throw home. It is not in time.
Well, Jake McCarthy almost makes an incredible play, but once it hits the wall, gets over the glove and kicks away, it was an opportunity. And that's when Matt Williams started drooling. He knew he had a chance.
So Chapman's 27th home run of the year is an inside the Parker.
After that inside the Parker, it was Casey Schmidt that knocked out one more home run in the 4th there that proved too much for the Arizona Diamondbacks to come back from. They continue that series today against San Fran at 6:40 Arizona time. 49ers star running back Christian McCaffrey is going to make a trip to Germany, according to head coach Kyle Shanahan. He's going to seek out a specialist regarding his ankle tendonitis. McCaffrey is expected to go ahead and miss a few days with the team this week as he gets help with the injury and waits out a possible return from his stint on the injured reserve list. He's reportedly set to miss at least 6 games. That's your 2020 Sports Update. We'll have more for you here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. With some slowdowns on southbound La Cholla at Ajo, Mission and Ajo also for backups. Collisions at Columbus and 5th Street, Country Club north of Speedway, Swan and Sunrise Drive, La Cañada and McGee also clearing southbound Wilma at Stella. An excessive heat warning 10 a.m. Friday through 7 p.m. Saturday, those highs near 107, 100 now. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Every business faces challenges, but shipping shouldn't be one of them. Turn shipping to your advantage with USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Hi, you know me, Scott Lehman from ScottSaysYes.com. Check out this month's Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar powered by Premier Auto Center.
Visit the Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar at WildcatsRadio1290.com to find out what community events are coming up in the Tucson area. You can also find Wildcats Radio 1290 events, upcoming sporting events, and more. Get the details and get involved with our community at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
Go to ScottSaysYes.com today.
Can't find the Wildcats on your TV? Don't worry. We always have your back when it comes to the big game.
Oh, my God. It is unbelievable.
You will never miss a game if you have your radio locked on 1290.
Such a good feeling to be a Wildcat.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
Marco Polo.
Hoping to find new customers online can feel like playing Marco Polo in the dark.
Plumber.
Right here.
Plumber.
Right here.
Let Cumulus Boost help spotlight your business. Boost your website. Boost your findability. Boost your reputation. Boost your business. Get a boost. Get found. Get on the map. Contact us today at cumulusboost.com.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Whether you're new to Arizona or you've been driving here for decades, we all share the same roads and the same extreme driving conditions like extreme Arizona heat, extremely large potholes, some extremely flooded roads, and there's always extremely distracted drivers, pedestrians, and that guy who drives his scooter backwards into oncoming traffic. You're driving in the world's largest video game, stopping, starting, turning, heating up, and cooling down. And that's just your afternoon commute. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care's 14 award-winning locations have been helping drivers just like you get home safely for over 60 years. With top-quality tire brands, no hidden extras, and one low price. Jack Furrier has everything you need to stay in the game, like wheel alignments, batteries, brakes, air conditioning, service at prices that won't break the bank. Ask a neighbor or friend about Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care's friendly service, or stop by, make an appointment online, or call ahead to the local's choice. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
The Wildcats play here. This is your home of Arizona Wildcats football, men's basketball, and baseball. This is the home of the Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
When you use your electric vehicle in autopilot or self-driving mode, accidents can still happen. Whether you're considered at fault or not, you may still have a claim. Lerner & Rowe has a dedicated team skilled in this new science. We are the first law firm in America with the ability to review the proprietary software and hold electric vehicle manufacturers responsible. If you or a loved one were injured in an electric vehicle accident, call Lerner & Rowe today.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are Tucson's home for Arizona men's basketball. From live coverage of weekly press conferences to the Tommy Lloyd Show, no one covers the Cats like we do. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
Wait, what's the CNWT?
Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
David Amata.
Hey, that's Dragon Ball to you.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Hour number 3 of the show on this Tuesday. DK on the Sports Tip. Glad you could be with us. Number to get on the program. You can keep that music going a little bit there. DJ Bob, Audio Bob. We like the music. There we go. You can just let it fade out on its own. That's good. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We were talking in the last half hour there about Big 12 volleyball. And there are only 15 schools that play volleyball. Oklahoma State does not. See, we're discovering this, folks, kind of as, we're kind of learning this whole thing as we go here. And so, of course, I had to find out. I'm thinking to myself, well, I wonder if they all how many teams play soccer in the Big 12? Because obviously we're in the midst of that, and the Wildcats are going to be hosting their two of their most eastern brethren in this new deal, Cincinnati and West Virginia. That just Cincinnati and West Virginia coming here for a conference game. That just sounds weird to even say. But that's what's happening this weekend. Thursday and Sunday will be those matches here. I believe we've got West Virginia Thursday night at Mulcahy, and then Cincinnati will come in on Sunday. So I did the quick cursory check, and actually we've got everyone participating in women's soccer. So all 16 Big 12 teams do play soccer, whereas only 15, sans Oklahoma State, play volleyball. Apparently, volleyball is not real popular in Oklahoma. In fact, my understanding is they didn't even really start playing it on the high school level until the late 90s. And so that might be one of the reasons. I think they added equestrian early in this century, which is not a sanctioned sport. I don't believe in terms of the Learfield Directors Cup, but that it kind of came down between volleyball and equestrian, and they decided to add equestrian over volleyball. I mean, again, if that's what they chose to do, that's what they do. But it kind of makes it even more impressive when you look at what Oklahoma State's been able to do in terms of their overall success and the Directors Cup, which is what we use as the guideline for all athletic departments in Division I. They finished 19th this past year. They've been a perennial top 25 Directors Cup program of late. I mean, if you take out Texas and Oklahoma, they're right there leading the pack in terms of the Big 12 teams that are left, the highest ranked of the teams that are left in the Directors Cup at 19. And that's without a volleyball program, which is one of the mandatory sports for the Directors Cup. So you're already at a disadvantage that you don't have one of the mandatory sports. There's 4 mandatory sports for the Directors Cup. Men's and women's basketball, volleyball, and baseball are the 4 mandatory sports that you are eligible to include. So when you look at, we talk about Arizona. Arizona has 21 sports, I believe, 22 now with. They have 22 now with triathlon, which is not yet a Directors Cup sport. So 21 that count towards that. And Oklahoma State only has 17 sports that they can count. But yet they're a perennial top 25 program nationally. So that tells you that they are performing at a high level in a lot of sports. We've talked about their softball program has become one of the better programs in the country. They're very good at men's tennis. They're pretty good at women's tennis, just looking at some of the spring sports. They score annually in track and field. They've got a lot of strong spring sports programs. Baseball is really good. And they play some decent football and basketball and some of the other sports. And I do believe they're pretty good in gymnastics as well. So they've got enough quality in those 17 sports that they are one of the top 25 programs in the country, even without a volleyball program, which is one of the mandatory sports to count in the Directors' Cup. So, yeah, all 16 teams do play soccer. And just to kind of give you an indication of where that stands at the moment, Colorado and West Virginia are 3-0 in conference play. So we're going to get one of the better teams coming in here this weekend. The Mountaineers are 7-2-1 and have won 3 straight. Colorado, they're really good. 8 straight victories. They're 9-1. They've got the best record overall in the Big 12. And then the other undefeated teams thus far are TCU, Texas Tech, and Central Florida. Central Florida, a 1-win, 1 draw. TCU and Texas, 2 wins, 1 draw. Everyone else is kind of packed into that middle. Arizona is one of the 6 teams that's 1-2 in conference play, along with Arizona, Oklahoma State, Baylor, Cincinnati, Kansas, Utah. The 2 winless teams currently are Houston and Kansas State. And so, again, Kansas State, really good in football, not so good in soccer. They are overall, 3-6-1, 0-3 in conference play. Not really good in volleyball. And I mentioned last week, Kansas State is generally, when you're talking about, if we're talking in the structure of the former Power 5, there were 2 teams that were consistently at the bottom. I believe there were 65 Power 5 teams before the Pac-12 broke up. And the 2 teams that are consistently 64 and 65 in terms of the Directors' Cup, and this is not overall, this is just the Power 5 schools, because, you'll have a number of non-Power 5s and Group of 5s that get into the mix in the Directors' Cup. We constantly talk about Denver and some of those schools where they ski and win national championships every year and get points for that. But in terms of just the Power 5 conference schools, SEC, Pac-12, ACC, Big 12, and Big 10, the 2 schools consistently at 64 and 65 are Washington State and Kansas State. Those are the schools that really don't do very well across the board. And we're starting to see that just in the first part of the fall here. Outside of football, Kansas State's other fall sports are not very good. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Let's hear from your head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. We're going to hear from Noah Fifita coming up here at 5:20. He spoke to the media today. But the Cardinals coming off a loss to the Detroit Lions over the weekend at home. A week after they blew out the Los Angeles Rams, and then the fan base sold out all their tickets to the Lions fans, and they filled up the lower bowl with blue. Cliff Kingsbury was asked, does he have a sense of what this Cardinals team is after 3 games?
Now at 250, we're a pissed-off team. I know that. But so is everyone that lost. You know what I mean? So now it comes down to what do you do about it, and to make sure that we keep learning and improving. So that's what I would say we're at right now.
That balance line between being pissed off, no more victories again, coming into use, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, and where we're at right now, I think it truly is a testament to the leadership in the locker room. We're mature there. We got mature and serious people. So you got to be able to take it on the chin after a loss, but learn from it and also see the good from it too. Flip side, after week 2, see the good, because there's a lot of good, but then also, hey, these are things that we got to do a better job of. So it just flips. It's tough to do after a loss. In a tight ball game versus a good team, a couple plays here and there, maybe the result's a little bit different. So you can't do anything about yesterday, but what you can do is how you respond today and what we do moving forward. So, and I don't have any worry about that we're going to respond the right way because of the maturity and the seriousness of the locker room.
Kyler was a little more upbeat than usual after a loss last night, and he said he was encouraged by how you guys played against the Final Four team. What does that show about where he is as a leader, as kind of a quarterback that's mature?
Yeah, he's mature. He's a mature, one of our leaders, obviously, but he's a mature person, and he understands the season of an NFL. You know, we're in late September here. There's a lot of ball to play, so we got a lot to get cleaned up and a lot to improve on, but it's there.
All right, that's Jonathan Gannon, the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, talking about his team's 1 and 2 starts. He mentioned that they're a pissed-off team right now after losing that game over the weekend to the Detroit Lions. But they get a third straight home game. Jesus, they're going to be on the road. I don't know, I don't know if I like the way this schedule lines up. 4 games into the season, you've already played 3 home games. That means you're going to be on the road a lot down the stretch. But a third straight home game coming up this Sunday, and look at who you get. The red-hot Washington Commanders coming off their Monday night win over the Cincinnati Bengals. They went into Cincinnati, a road game, and beat the Bengals 38-33. Somebody picked up some money in the 33 club with the Bengals. Jaden Daniels coming back to Arizona, the former Sun Devil. 664 yards and a pair of touchdowns in his first 2 games, in his first 3 games, had not thrown a touchdown pass in his first 2 games. But boy, did he figure it out last night against Cincinnati. 21 of 23, 254 yards, 2 touchdowns, a quarterback rating of 141.7, a quarterback QBR of 93. So Jaden Daniels with his best game. He's been he hasn't thrown an interception in 3 games, and his completion percentage is off the charts under, guess who? Offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury, the former head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, his completion percentage is well over 75%, it looks like, this season already. Because, again, one of the things they're saying about this offense that they've given him is it's very college-like. In fact, a lot of NFL guys are kind of joking the fact that they're not making him do a whole lot. 80% right now is his completion percentage on the season. That they're giving him a lot of short passes. He's not really throwing the ball downfield, but hey, it has worked for this Commanders team, which nobody, again, if you're talking about surprises to this season thus far, Minnesota, Sam Darnold, 3-0. I think you got to put Jaden Daniels and the Commanders in that conversation as well at now 2-1 heading to Glendale on Sunday. DK on the sports tip. We are going to hear from Noah Fifita, the quarterback of your Arizona Wildcats. That's next. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. Ruth Ruff near I-10 on Ruth Ruff to the east of I-10. Reported brush fire, Ruth Ruff east of I-10. Collisions that are reported Broadway and Swan. 6th Avenue north of Ajo Way. We've got Swan and Sunrise Drive, La Cañada and McGee, and also Wilma and Stella clearing. An excessive heat warning, 10 a.m. Friday until 7 p.m. Saturday. Our highs near 107, 100 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. At Cool Willie's Plumbing, they'll help you with drain cleaning, water treatment, sewer repairs, and replacements. Trust the big guy. Contact Tucson's most respected plumbing experts at CoolWillies.com, where they are big enough to help and small enough to care. That's CoolWillies.com. CoolWillies.com.
We are Tucson's home of the NFL. Sunday, Thursday night football.
Wide open for Mahomes.
The NFL playoffs.
He high steps it in for the touchdown.
And the Super Bowl. This is Tucson's sports station, Wildcats Radio 1290.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2794.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-2794. That's 800-575-2794.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Join David Kelly, Kelvin Evon, and Glenn Howe at Corbett's this Saturday from 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. for the Arizona Game Day pregame show as we get ready for Arizona versus Utah. Sponsored by Coors Light. Choose Chill, official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
Is he okay?
Ron, did you get hit on the head?
What? Oh, no. I was just reminiscing. Here comes a story. I was 5 or 6. A scruffy little ragamuffin, I was. A scruffy? What are you, Charles Dickens? Mama just wanted to comfort me.
Mama?
Comfort. It's why we started Alaskan AC, you know?
We know.
I was being a fuss budget. Golly, I was a scoundrel. Get to the point. These were the early days at Alaskan AC, see?
See.
It's a fun place to work at Alaskan AC. Ron. We don't take ourselves too seriously.
We literally just came up with the new Alaskan AC jingle last month.
What? Who's that? Who's there? Is it you, Mama? Oh, boy.
Yes, Ronnie, it's Mama.
Did your little Ron Bon make you proud?
Every day, dear.
Why did I even come to work today? Because...
It's a fun place to work at Alaskan AC. We don't take ourselves too seriously.
AlaskanAC.com.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at CoolWillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats radio broadcast. Two powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. CoolWillies.com.
Stay informed on all the latest news from McHale Center and Arizona men's basketball by following us on Twitter at Wildcats 1290. When news breaks from Tommy Lloyd's team, we will bring it to you on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. The two-time defending WNBA champion Las Vegas Aces started their postseason journey on Sunday with a home victory over the Seattle Storm. Las Vegas was led in the Game 1 triumph by superstar A'ja Wilson, who finished with 21 points and 8 rebounds. Wilson's performance this weekend came on the heels of winning her third league MVP award. While the Aces had an up-and-down regular season, Wilson had the best year of her career. Trailing Sunday's game at halftime, Wilson and her squad once again found a way to prevail in the playoffs.
We just kind of figured it out, and it just clicked with us on the defensive end. We have to buckle down. Like, it's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's where we can then fuel our offense. So we just started to lock in more, and then we just kind of take it personal. And I love that we can do that in the game and make that adjustment.
The Aces will look to close out the Storm tonight in Game 2 of the best-of-3 series. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Amber Theo Harris on Westwood One.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh,
don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We've hit on a number of subjects today. Your Arizona Cardinals will be taking on the Washington Commanders in a third straight home game. Yeah, I would think that's almost must win now. You got to win. You can't lose two in a row at home to fall to 1-3. If you do, you are really behind the eight ball with a large part of your schedule still to come and playing a lot of road games. So that a critical game this Sunday up in Glendale for the Birds. A pretty important game for the Arizona Wildcats as they begin their Big 12 lives in Utah against a familiar opponent, an opponent that they beat last year here in Tucson, although one that was heavily injured when they came in here, maybe not the same caliber Utah teams we have seen in the past. Never easy to go in and win in Salt Lake City. Arizona will try to do that. Let's hear from the starting quarterback, Noah Fifita, ahead of the Big 12 opener against the Utes.
Noah, for you, how was it dealing with the helmet communication with the crowd noise?
I thought the helmet communication was great. Coach Baber did a great job, and then a lot of credit to Sean, Faith, and our equipment staff. They did a really good job with the ear covers and just with the whole new system. So great job in a very loud atmosphere.
Noah, how do you go about getting guys like Kean and Sam Olsen and the tight ends involved more in the passing game?
Yeah, I just got to do a better job on my part. Just continuing to trust my progressions, get more comfortable, get better at that. But like he said, the bye week was a really good week for us to be able to just kind of focus on ourselves, still prepare for Utah, but really focus on ourselves, get back to the basics, and I'm excited for the future.
Noah, how have you taken this time with the extra week? You've had the NAU game and the Kansas State game. Probably not some of your best performances, but a lot of success here at Arizona. So how have you handled this week in terms of preparation, and what's the mentality heading into Utah?
Yeah, just a lot more meetings. Got an opportunity, just like I said, we still prepared for Utah last week, but last week was really just kind of focusing on us, just kind of getting back to doing the little things. That's what I think especially me, did a poor job in the NAU and Kansas State game. So just kind of learning from the past, but at the end of the day, we're moving on, and we're excited to go into Salt Lake this weekend.
Coach Babers mentioned in terms of his advice to you, kind of like a golfer, going out there and over-swinging, taking it too hard, and just go out and take it easy, just let the game come to you. Do you think you were doing a little too much at times during that time? Or
I think, I'll take the blame for the offensive struggles the last 2 weeks. It all starts kind of with my position, so I'll take the blame for that for sure. But, Coach Babers and Coach Atkins and the whole coaching staff, they've done a great job. Last week kind of just continuing to teach us, continuing to prepare us. And like I said, we're trying to make these little details, these little improvements that we got to make in order to do what we want to do.
Noah, when you go back and watch film even throughout a game, is there a pattern to how teams are covering you guys this season, and is it different than last season?
I think the coach has done a great job kind of preparing us each week. We've pretty much known what we were going to get week in and week out. Obviously, there's minor adjustments that defenses will make, especially when you have a guy at our X position that we have. So we expect that, but at the end of the day, just kind of getting back to executing the offense, doing our job, and just playing the scheme that we're blessed with.
The deep ball that you threw to Malachi, the one that their guy came over and got, what did you see on that play, and what would you say went wrong for you?
I think I was just late. I take full responsibility for that one. Mal kind of got past the second level in a hurry, and I should have hit him right behind the third level safety, but took an extra hitch, and that's kind of what caused the play. But great play call, great play by the corner that ended up making the play. That's all there is to it.
Second free was maybe T-Mac the first or something like that, and it just the amount of time going from one to the other?
No, not really. I think I just stayed in the play fake too long and then took an extra hitch that I didn't need to take.
Oh, I didn't know it was a play, actually.
Yes, sir.
What challenges does Utah present on defense?
Yeah, I mean, I think we know what we're going to get from them. Very physical, front seven heavy, and then obviously the secondary is really good, and they do their job. So very well-coached team. It's a team that we're looking forward to kind of competing against and looking forward to get back on track.
And then your time to throw on PFF is up a little bit. What do you think that is this year?
Up, like?
Just in terms of like holding on to the ball and stuff.
Oh, I mean, I think you got to give credit to the O-line for protecting, and then I just got to make better decisions with the time that I have.
You started to answer this, but Dino Babers was just in here, Noah, and he said that you need to try less hard. We all know about your preparation and how much effort you put into each game plan. What do you think he meant by that, though?
I think Coach Baber was just trying to get me to have fun and kind of get me to just play the game how I grew up playing the game. I think that I just got to get back to just letting my guys win, letting my guys go do what they do, getting them the ball, and letting them go make plays in space. So that's kind of what we've been working on.
No, I know how important your faith is to you, and after the last game you made a comment that God doesn't make mistakes. How do you combine that into what happens in the game and knowing if there's indeed a plan, how you fit into it and how you can adjust if there may be already something in place?
Yeah, at the end of the day, God is always in control. I mean, I believe that. I think I had a good sermon this week and just kind of talk about the scripts has been already written, and it's been written since the day I was born. So I understand that he's in control, so that's why there's no doubt, there's no wavering faith in that phase. But at the end of the day, I got to do my job and I got to do my work. So like I said, I believe that everything happens for a reason, and I got to go make the adjustments, go make the learning. I got to do the learning that I got to do to be able to be better.
Can you share with us your relationship with your Uncle Steve? Because he played at Utah.
Yes, sir.
Did you go to any Utah games, and what's your connection there?
Yeah, I grew up going to Utah games, watching Utah games. Obviously, I had two uncles that went to the University of Utah, my Uncle Venny and then my Uncle Kelly Talavo, who went there as well. So grew up watching a lot of Utah games, so I kind of know a lot about their past, which is why I have a lot of respect for them. But looking forward to kind of going into that stadium and being able to compete.
So your freshman year, was it your first touchdown pass against Utah?
Yes, sir.
What do you remember about that?
Yeah, I think I just kind of remember my whole family was there, so I kind of knew it was special. That's kind of, I couldn't wait for that game, whether I was playing or not. And then actually the night before, T-Mac was my roommate, and I was just kind of telling him that I had a feeling that my first touchdown would be to him in that stadium. And like I said, God don't make mistakes, and it happened. And now I'm excited to see what script God has written for this Saturday.
A lot of people could easily write you guys off after a loss to Kansas State. How are you guys staying together and making sure that you guys can have the season that you can have?
I mean, just this team's continuing to come together. I think we know that whether it's good and the whole world's praising us, or if it's bad and the whole world's turning on us, it's about the people in this building, and we got to get better at the little things. We got to continue to play for each other and trust that that we'll get the outcomes we want.
All right, that is Noah Fifita today on campus, meeting with the media ahead of the Big 12 opener in Salt Lake City on Saturday against the Utah Utes. He was there with Kian Burnett. We'll hear from Kian coming up later in the week. And again, I'll just go back to what I've stated. They've got to start getting the ball in the hands of Kian Burnett. I mean, he is too powerful a force on that offense and can really maybe settle this thing down. If you can start to find him and allow him to get involved and get some offensive prowess going for you, because it just has not happened through the first 3 games. 3 catches in 3 games, 7 catches for your tight ends in 3 games is not, I think, what most people thought this offense was going to be, considering how much this regime has used the tight ends in the past. Now, obviously, that's a Brent Brennan thing. That's a Brent Brennan. That's a Matt Atkins thing. It might not necessarily have always been a Dino Babers thing. And so Dino may still be trying to figure that out. We'll hear from Dino Babers coming up tomorrow, but he did indicate today that they've got to get the running backs more involved in the pass game as well. So there's a lot of different things that they're trying to assess ways to get this offense clicking at a high level, which we obviously have not seen in the last two games. We saw it in the first game against the New Mexico Lobos, but we have not seen it at all in the games involving the NAU Lumberjacks and then most recently before the bye against the Kansas State Wildcats. 520-848-1290. If you have any thoughts on what you heard from your quarterback, Noah Fifita there, I want to tell you about a sweet deal that I've got for you this Friday coming up. It's for the Slaughterhouse. If you like to be scared, well, I'm going to give you that opportunity to be scared here as we are entered into the Halloween season. Now, it's interesting. Normally, we were at high school football Friday night, and normally we don't start to see the wear pink for breast cancer until we actually get to the October games. But there was a few guys who were already sporting the pink socks and bands and whatnot, arm covers.
David Kelly, as a man
Friday.
who's married, I know it's never too early to support women's causes.
Never.
That's how that works.
There you go. Yeah, so we're starting to see the pink. It's always one of the more fun months of high school football when the guys are out there in their little pink things that they wear, whether it's the socks or, like I mentioned, the armband. Some of them will have the towels and whatnot. Will be in pink, all in support of breast cancer. It's great to see that throughout the entire month of October on our high school football fields every Friday night. Well, if you do want to go to Slaughterhouse, I've got a sweet deal for you. It's going to go on sale this Friday at 8:30 a.m. at wildcatsradio1290.com. $14.50. You're going to get a ticket for $14.50. Normally the ticket to Slaughterhouse is $29, but I'm going to give it to you for half price, $14.50, coming up this Friday, 8:30 a.m., wildcatsradio1290.com. A sweet deal to Slaughterhouse. They're celebrating their 20th year, voted best haunted house in the entire United States back 3 years ago. In 2021, they are the best in Arizona 5 years running. There's not a better haunted house than Slaughterhouse here in the state of Arizona. Bone-chilling haunted house transformed from a 1950s meatpacking plant into one giant horrifying walkthrough. There's going to be 50-plus horror-themed scenes with areas including necropolis graveyard, an infested boiler room, creepy clowns, and Cirque du Soleil. Cirque du Soleil.
That's got to have clowns involved too, right?
I would think so. Cirque du Soleil has clowns, doesn't it? Yeah.
So they're just doubling up on the clowns. That's probably a good idea.
People don't like clowns.
They do not.
People don't like clowns. City Meets, my uncle had a house full of clowns. Like, he collected them.
Like little porcelain figures?
Yeah, exactly. The little porcelain clowns. He had, they were everywhere. City Meets Human Meatpacking Plant. City Meets. That human meatpacking. That does not sound like anything I want to be a part of. But you can be a part of it on Friday at 8:30 at wildcatsradio1290.com. It's a sweet deal. $14.50 gets you that ticket that is normally $29. This is, again, the 20th year, and they've actually this year added the Helza Poppin' Circus to this whole
So even more
thing.
clowns.
Whatever we got to do to get the clowns involved, right? It's the ultimate freak show circus. It's right here in Tucson, the Helza Poppin' Circus. Nothing like a freak show circus. All right. So head on over to wildcatsradio1290.com on Friday morning at 8:30. Cricket is going to get you home now every 20 minutes on the fives. David Amata is out at Arizona Soccer. We will hear from him as well before we get out of here at 6 o'clock. Cricket, take him home.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. With collisions, Palo Verde and I-10 reported on Palo Verde at I-10, Broadway and Swan, 6th Avenue north of Ajo Way, and also Wilma and Stella from earlier. Ruth Ruff east of I-10, that was a reported brush fire. An excessive heat warning, 10 a.m. Friday through 7 p.m. Saturday. Those highs near 107 and 99 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Big O Tires. Get a Big O Tires Healthy Car Care Special. $29 conventional oil change or $59 full synthetic oil change. Service includes lube oil filter, 4-tire rotation, alignment check, battery check, AC check, and brake inspection. Limited time offers. See Big O Tires for details.
DJ on the Sports Tip, 3 to 6 weekdays.
Does Umarballo's decision to play for the Indiana Hoosiers change your feeling about his legacy as an Arizona Wildcats player?
Umarballo was about as Wildcat as it gets. Look at the smile on his face when he talks about what the McHale crowd means to him. That's real. How do you be a fan, David? That's the conversation we're having. You want to open that Pandora's box. And what does it mean to be a fan, and how do you fan? Well, that's really up to you.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
There aren't many feelings worse than trying to start your car in the morning and being greeted with a dead battery, or being stuck on the side of the road when you don't need to be. 1 in 4 vehicles on the road will need a battery replacement this year. Don't be a statistic. Stop battery problems before they stop you by testing your battery regularly. Test yours at home or at select Napa locations nationwide. If you need a replacement, Napa has you covered with a full range of long-lasting high-performance batteries for nearly every make and model on the road. So don't wait. Test your battery today and let Napa help keep you moving.
Is he okay?
Ron, did you get hit on the head?
What? Oh, no. I was just reminiscing.
Here comes a story.
I was 5 or 6. A scruffy little ragamuffin, I was.
A scruffy? What are you, Charles Dickens?
Mama just wanted to comfort me.
Mama?
Comfort. It's why we started Alaskan AC, you know?
We know.
I was being a fuss budget. Golly, I was a scoundrel.
Get to the point.
These were the early days at Alaskan AC, see? It's a fun place to work at Alaskan AC.
Ron.
We don't take ourselves too seriously.
We literally just came up with the new Alaskan AC jingle last month.
What? Who's that? Who's there? Is it you, Mama?
Oh, boy.
Yes, Ronnie, it's Mama.
Did your little Ron Bon make you proud?
Every day, dear.
Why did I even come to work today?
Because...
it's a fun place to work at Alaskan AC. We don't take ourselves too seriously.
AlaskanAC.com.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Point!
Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down.
Ace!
You're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at Metamucil.com.
This is Zach Gelb with the Sportsman. It's sponsored by Napa Auto Parts. Elevate your engine performance with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. The Jaguars didn't have to rush to pay Trevor Lawrence this offseason, but they did by giving him a $275 million extension that keeps him in Jacksonville through 2030. It was a mistake to do that then because the Jags should have made Trevor prove his worth this year when they still had the luxury of time, and through 3 games for the 2024 season, Trevor looks like the farthest thing from a franchise QB. I'm Zach Gelb.
There aren't many feelings worse than trying to start your car in the morning and being greeted with a dead battery, or being stuck on the side of the road when you don't need to be. 1 in 4 vehicles on the road will need a battery replacement this year. Don't be a statistic. Stop battery problems before they stop you by testing your battery regularly. Test yours at home or at select Napa locations nationwide. If you need a replacement, Napa has you covered with a full range of long-lasting, high-performance batteries for nearly every make and model on the road. So don't wait. Test your battery today and let Napa help you keep moving.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Final phase of today's show. Last chance for you to get involved. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in. You can call us. You can text us. We dispatched Dragon Ball out to Murphy Field at Mulcahy Stadium, where Arizona Soccer is getting ready for their Big 12 home opener. They played their first 3 Big 12 games on the road, a loss at Utah to open things up, but then they split on the road trip this week, winning at Baylor 1-0 on last Thursday, but then losing on Sunday to TCU by the same count of 1-0. So the ladies are 1-2. They will host a ranked West Virginia team coming in here this weekend, along with Cincinnati. And David Amata joins us now from Murphy Field at Mulcahy Stadium. David, what's the scene out there as the Wildcats get ready for their Pac-12 home opener?
Well, they're getting ready for their Big 12 home opener, and they're getting set for the first home game that they've had in quite a while. Again, last 3 games, like you mentioned, on the road, but only 4 home games if you count the one coming up here in Cincinnati as their home games for so far this season. So they're really kind of excited to just have some stay in Tucson for the time being. The main thing that Coach Moros went ahead and told me when we talked was that they really are going to try to focus on the controlling part of the midfield. They want to get Nikki Dallin and the rest of those girls in the middle of the field more time to really work their magic and get the attack going against Cincinnati and eventually against that West Virginia squad you mentioned. And a lot of that is going to come up with the girls that are coming off of that bench. We've talked about it recently when we've talked with the coach and the players, is that they've had a lot of rotating pieces so far this season, and one of those being Shanti Weddington, who we also spoke with. She just got done having an assist in the Baylor game that you mentioned, but she also was in there for 50 minutes in the game against TCU, so she's going to be one of those midfielders that has to be able to get control of that game early and often when they try to get these 2 games against the Big 12. This is a new Cincinnati team that's just adjusting to the Big 12 themselves, so they got a little bit more deeper into the pool than Arizona has so far. But it's going to be an interesting game, and they're wanting everybody to show up there at Mulcahy when the game eventually gets ready to kick off on Thursday.
Well, and David, we knew things would get harder for Nicole Dallin as it went on. I mean, the 5 goals in the first 2 games, the 4-goal game against Pacific, but not a single goal in the last 8 games. So was there any talk along those lines of maybe, you mentioned, like, is this maybe offense is designed to maybe try to get her some easier looks and get her some shots on goal, to maybe try to get her going offensively?
Oh, they definitely, again, Coach Morris definitely focusing more so on trying to get the middle of the field under control for the U of A going into these next 2 games. A lot of it has been, a lot of struggles to try to get it into that midfield section. So I'm wondering if maybe they'll go ahead and try to start it off a bit earlier before they start going outside to try and draw the defense out, or if they start outside at the very end of it and try to work their way back in that direction. But overall, it's just going to be a lot of focus on that part, and then also just getting an opportunity to really kind of set their feet at home. Like I said, 3 straight games on the road to open up the conference action, and they haven't really had a lot of home games so far this season. So trying to see if maybe getting a little bit of home cooking will do them some favors as they get started with the conference schedule here in Tucson.
Well, Nicole did have 6 shots on goal 6 shots, I should say. Shots and shots on goal are 2 different stats, but she has had a number of shots in the last 5 games. In fact, she's had 13 shots, of which 7 of those have been on goal. So at least still firing there to try to find her offensive scoring punch that we saw earlier in the year, at least in those first 2 ball games. All right, so it'll be Arizona and West Virginia coming up. That'll be the first of the 2 games. I'm sorry, Cincinnati. is the first of the two games. That'll be on Thursday night, 7 o'clock, and then West Virginia will be the Sunday game at 11:30 over at Murphy Field at Mulcahy Stadium. David, we appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us. We look forward to hearing from the coach tomorrow.
Yep, sounds good, DK. Happy to help.
Dragon Ball out at Arizona Women's Soccer as we keep you up to date on everything that's happening with your Arizona Wildcats. Let's give you your Desert Diamond Casino replay.
And now, the best thing you will hear all day.
Hachi-machi!
It's time for the Wildcat Radio Replay. In case you missed this earlier in the day, we now bring you the best of 1290. It's made possible by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, well, we're just finding out. We mentioned earlier in the show, before we get to the Desert Diamond, well, we'll do the Desert Diamond Casino replay, and then I'll give you this latest piece of news coming out of that. But we had a chance to chat with Casey Nady over the weekend on Saturday. She's the head volleyball coach at Southern Utah, the Thunderbirds. She played 4 years indoors at Oregon, and then she finished her athletics career in college volleyball with a year outdoors on the sand here at the University of Arizona. And I asked Casey when I caught up with her on Saturday how she got here to Tucson for that one outdoor season.
Well, there's actually a pretty long story behind that. I'll shorten it up for you. In 2011, I came to a team camp here with my high school in Yuma, Arizona, and Dave Rubio saw me at this team camp. And he pulled me aside and into his office, and we decided that I was going to move in that next 2 weeks to San Diego by myself to go play club, to hopefully earn a scholarship to go play in college. And I'm really thankful for Dave, and he's one of the angels in my life, because I would not be standing here right now if it weren't for him. And so my entire career at Oregon and coming to U of A and seeing Dave was honestly always really special, and he was so kind to me. And so it was kind of a no-brainer, and I reached out to Steve because Steve was an assistant at the time during that camp. And so when I reached out to Steve and saying like, hey, want to play fifth year, within 48 hours I had committed of reaching out to Steve and then that decision. So it was really easy for me, and so it was really cool to come full circle and very, very blessed. And so U of A means a lot to me, and so it's fun to be here. And the first time that SUU has competed against Arizona. That's cool.
That was the Wildcat Radio Replay with the best of 1290. It's brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
And you heard her mention there Steve, the name Steve several times, and she was referring to Arizona Wildcats beach volleyball head coach Steve Walker as being, the person that she played for here. And then also she contacted a longtime assistant on the indoor side as well for Dave Rubio before the beach volleyball program was born back around 2014. And he took over that outfit over there. So, again, just an incredible story to think, again, that a young lady goes to a volleyball camp at a university, and that coach says you need to leave your family and your home in Yuma and go move to San Diego so you can play club and have an opportunity to excel at the highest level of this game. And it worked out for Casey Nady. She played 4 incredible years at Oregon, 1 year here at Arizona, and now she's a head coach in Division I.
I will say anybody who's driven through Yuma probably has noticed there is some sand there. However, if you're going to play volleyball, DK, beautiful San Diego is the birthplace. So, I mean, if you're going to go learn, San Diego might as well be your destination, right?
There's some beautiful sand on that drive from Tucson through Yuma to San Diego. It makes you want to stop and just take it all in, for sure. Some great stuff there. So really fun to have an opportunity. We always love catching up with some of our former athletes, and we were at the game. Had no idea. They had forgotten, that Casey had gotten into the business. Was just going through some of the bios on the opposing team. I always look at the bios to kind of see if there's anybody from Tucson that are on the rosters, former players from this area that we might be able to catch up with and chat with. And saw that she had the connection as a former beach volleyball player here, and that was in the year. I think she got here the year after the Witt twins left. So that was
had to have been right around the time they launched it, right? I mean, it
was actually long? I think it was about 4 years probably after. I think they launched. I think the first season was 2014 if I'm not mistaken. And so she was here in 18. So she was here for the fifth, what would have been the fifth season of the program, but still obviously a very young program at that time. And, she was a part of that for one short season, and found her calling, because I believe the story was she was going to go into the medical field because her mom works in the medical field. And again, like she mentioned, if you heard the whole interview, and if you didn't, you can head on over to our YouTube page right now because it's up there, WildcatsRadio1290.com, our YouTube page. She said that it's in her mindset that if everybody else is doing one thing, she goes and does the other thing. And so she had no inclination to be a coach. And again, just like what we heard the story from Charita Stubbs, Charita had no designs on being a coach until Dave said to her, I think you'd be good at it. And it sounds like it was the very same thing with Casey Nady, who, if that name sounds familiar, she's a cousin of longtime Major League Baseball player Xavier Nady, who played 15 years in the big leagues. Dave, again, incredible volleyball mind. We were so blessed to have him for the close to 30
of
years.
Long tenured coaches at the U of A. Think about, Rubio, Tomey, Olsen, all those people.
Great stuff there. All right, that's going to wrap up our show for today. Thanks to everybody that was a part of it.
Real quick. Shout out to one of my favorite albums. It's the 33-year anniversary of Low End Theory's release. What a great album.
Low End Theory by Tribe Called Quest.
Yep.
Yes, Tribe Called Quest. Great stuff. Get you over there hip-hopping it. JW Matt.
This was my era. I was like, a junior in high school, I think.
All right, well, we'll leave on that music there. Thanks to J-Dub, thanks to Cricket, thanks to Dragon Ball, thanks to Audio Bob. Most of all, thanks to you for listening. That's our time for tonight. We'll talk to you tomorrow, 3 o'clock, DK on the Sports Tip. Rocking it out, rapping it out, hip-hopping it out on Wildcats Radio 1290.
My opera presentation sizzles the retina. How far must you go to gain respect? Well, it's kind of simple.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions reported Palo Verde south of I-10, 6th Avenue north of Ajo Way, and also Broadway and Swan. Some slowdowns on Grant Road east of Country Club to east of Alvernon Way due to road work. An excessive heat warning 10 a.m. Friday through 7 p.m. Saturday with those highs near 107. 99 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Chumba Casino.